welcome back to my channel and welcome to another reading vlog where I'm gonna be reading Crooked Kingdom. So, if you don't know, Crooked Kingdom is the second book in the Six of Crows duology. Look, I think it's gonna be a series, but whatever, that's kind of irrelevant to the point. Anyway, also not about the book, but it's just about me and my channel. I know that I haven't been uploading regularly, and that's because I am going to present my thesis next week, and I have been working on that, and this week I had to present it to my supervisor just for her to see how I was doing and if it was okay and whatever. So I have kind of been working on that and focusing on that, and next week there might not be a video because it would be on the day that I'm presenting my thesis. So yeah, just a heads up. But I think that after that I'm going to be able to get back to just posting videos every week. But anyway, having said that, this video is definitely filled with spoilers for what happens in this book, and yeah, let's just go into the reading footage. Okay, so I am on page 143 of Crooked Kingdom, which means I have read part 1 and 2, and basically this starts right after the end of the first book, pretty much. And so at the end of book 1, Van Eyck had taken Inej, and he gave the other 7 days to give him Kauai before he would start torturing Inej. And in terms of the others, Nina, who had taken that drug Drew the Parem on book 1, she is struggling, but not as bad as it could be, I think. But every time she tries to use her powers, it's painful and really hard. And so she is definitely struggling. But Kauai tells her that maybe there's a way to find an antidote to that drug. So if there is an antidote, she will probably be fine. She and all the other Grisha who have been given that drug. Then Jasper's father is kind of used as bait to lure Jasper to go out. And so when he meets his father, and he's also with Wylan, someone tries to kill him. And then obviously Jasper's father is kind of scared, because someone tried to kill his son. And he wants to take Jasper home, but he talks to Kaz, and he's given some time to figure out whatever he has to figure out before his father takes him home. And he doesn't know exactly what they're doing or what his son has been doing, but basically it just gives Jasper some time to finish whatever he has to finish before he takes him home. And so they know that Van Eyck has been trying to get Inej to talk and tell him where Kauai is. And so basically they kidnap Van Eyck's wife, because he's just so focused on Inej that he doesn't have enough security for his wife. And they basically decide to trade Inej for Van Eyck's wife. And so they meet up and they do exchange their hostages, and they have Inej now. But their escape plan was basically creating a distraction that would just create a lot of chaos and they would run away. But I mean, that did happen, and it involved some bombs. But as it turns out, they weren't the only ones using bombs, so there was someone else attacking them as well. And so basically the end of part 2 was just a lot of chaos, and them running, and Cass taking Inej, and the others dealing with the bombs, and yeah, it was just a lot of chaos. And I am liking this book, but I'm definitely not enjoying it as much as Six of Crows. And on one side, it's definitely because it's a lot slower, I would say. At least it feels a lot slower. There's not as much happening, but at the same time, I'm also not as interested in this plot. So, yeah, I'm definitely not loving it as much. But having said that, I am still enjoying it. And I'm definitely still interested to find out what's gonna happen in the rest of the book. So I will update again once I read part 3 and 4. Okay, so I got to page 334, which is after reading parts 3 and 4, and I am not loving this. Actually, I'm kind of bored, and the only way I'm actually getting through this book is because I'm listening to the audiobook while I'm drawing Pokemon. So that's what's been happening. And speaking about the audiobook, like, I really love the narrator that does Jasper's chapters. Like, I really like his voice. But I hate the voice that Wyland's narrator does for Kaz. Like, it's really unpleasant for me. I really don't like it. But anyway, like I said, I'm kind of bored with this because I feel like it's not going anywhere, you know? And I really liked book 1, and there was a lot of action, and there was like a plan, and they were executing a plan. And I mean, they are kind of executing a plan here, but it's really not interesting for me. So there's that. But anyway, what has been happening is that they have decided that they're going to destroy the sugar that is present in Van Eck's silos. And Nina said that she will only help if Kaz agrees to help the Grisha escape. And so he agrees, and Nina and Matthias go talk to the Grisha that are there in the city or whatever. And there are some characters from Shadow and Bone there. And speaking of bones, Nina is able to control bone shards, which, you know, strange, but I did like that part. That was cool. That was definitely cool. And she, like, hadn't been feeling well since the, like, whole Jurdaparam thing, and she wasn't ever hungry. But after she was able to control the bone shards, she was actually hungry again. So I'm guessing that's good for her. Also, we got Jasper's backstory and how his mother died, and basically why he has been hiding that he's Grisha from everyone. So yeah, like, we got to understand that. We also found out that Wyland's mother, who we thought was dead, is actually alive and in an asylum because Wyland's father put her there. So yeah, I already hated that guy. Like, everyone already hated that guy, but definitely started hating him more. And after that, like, when they were at the silos, Inej was attacked by a girl. She said, "I am Dunyasha, the White Blade, trained by the sages of Ambrat, Jen, the greatest assassin of this age." So if we ignore the fact that I cannot read, yeah, she's the greatest assassin of that age. So there's that. And she was, like, they were going to, like, destroy the sugar from Van Eck, and that girl was hired by Pekka Rollins. So Pekka Rollins and Van Eck are working together, and, like, she's really good, and she was better than Inej, and yeah, that's not good. And like I said, like, she was being better than Inej, and Inej was being attacked, and Nina was there as well, and she was able to control dead bodies. Like, she created an army out of dead bodies that were, like, there around the area, and yeah, like, to protect herself from the men that were attacking her. And then she also was able to help Inej. So there is that. Apparently Nina now controls, like, dead people and bones, and yeah, I find that really cool. That was, like, the one part that I thought was really cool in this book so far. So yeah, there's that. The last thing I read is that they're going to make an auction for Kuwai's services. But like I said, like, that thing with Nina was really cool. But apart from that, I am bored. But I will read the next two parts. I will finish this book and I will get back to you. Alright, so I have finished this. And I'm just gonna say that the last around 100 pages were really good. I really liked them. There was a lot of things happening, a lot of action, but the rest, yeah, I still didn't love it. And basically, there was a lot of things happening at once, and we would get like a bit of one thing and then a bit of another and then a bit of another and then a bit of another. But I'm just gonna try to summarize it to like try to make it make sense for you that are listening to me. Am I gonna succeed? Probably not, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna give it my best. And before we get to that, I just wanna say that we have like Wyland's backstory and how he ended up with Kaz and the others. And it was really sad, and I just hate Van Eck more and more. And yeah. Anyway, moving on to what happened like in the present. Basically, at the auction, they faked Kawai's death so that he could escape and just live his life and didn't have to like be a slave for anyone to create Yurda Parem. So yeah, that happened. And also at the same time, Nina was kind of controlling dead skin cells and placing them on living people. So it would seem that they were sick with the plague and it would create a lot of chaos. And in that chaos, they would be able to get Kawai out of there. Also, Inej faced that other girl, I think her name was Dunyasha or something like that. And this time Inej won, and yeah, love that. Like I said, like I really like the last around 100 pages. That's what kind of saved this book, because I was bored. I was bored. Anyway, they were getting Kawai out of there, and Matthias ran into a Druskel, and Matthias basically was like a traitor to them. And Matthias was basically like telling the guy he didn't have to do what the other Druskel asked of him, you know, because if he thought he was wrong, he didn't have to do it. But the boy just shot Matthias, and Matthias died. So, in the last book, I wanted someone to die, and I guess I got my wish. Someone did die. And if I was loving this book, I probably would have been more affected by Matthias' death. But since I was just like meh about it, I was also meh about his death. So, yeah. Anyway, moving on. At the ending, they basically made it seem like Van Eck had betrayed the Merchant Council and had been stealing money from them. And so Van Eck was basically arrested, and Wyland got his money and his property and whatever, which I loved because Wyland deserves the world. I love Wyland. It was sort of a bittersweet ending because no one was like fully happy, I guess. But also, did I care that much? No, because like I said, I was just very meh about this book. So, yeah. Anyway, let's just go into my final thoughts. Okay, so, I know that I've said this like 3,000 times already, but I didn't love this book. And I had seen the reading vlogs for this series like a while ago, from Kevin from the Irish Reader, and I know that he also didn't like book 2 as much as book 1. And so I was going into this book like knowing that, but I wasn't expecting to like not like it this much. Because like the plot really wasn't interesting for me at all. I was only here for the characters because I liked them from book 1, but also at the same time, since I wasn't invested in the plot, I also started not caring as much about the characters. And like I said, when Matthias died, I was just like, okay, well, that happened. Damn, so sad. And yeah, like I really didn't feel anything when he died. So yeah, like having been uninterested in the plot also made me like not care about the characters.
and I wasn't caring about anything really. I was just like listening while I drew. And also, like I mentioned, the last 100 pages were really good. I really liked them, and that's definitely what saved this book for me, because like a lot of things happened and that was what I wanted. And like I said, the ending was kind of bittersweet, but I was okay with that. You know, maybe if I was more like in love with these characters, I would have been like sadder, I guess, for them. But yeah, I wasn't. I was honestly the only person I was very invested in was Wylan, and since he got like his dad's stuff and the house, and he was just like basically allowed to live in his house again, and with Jasper, and like since Wylan was happy, I was happy, because Wylan was all that mattered to me in this book. And yeah, anyway, I don't know what more I can say about this book, because really the only thing I can say is that I was kind of bored the whole time. And yeah, like I definitely recommend you reading book 1, but book 2 is just meh. So yeah. Having said that, I think like with the ending, and since I kind of liked the thrill of the last 100 pages, I am going to give this book 3 stars. Okay, so this is everything for this week's video, and like I said, there might not be a video next week, but there will definitely be a video on the week after that. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe, and I will talk to you next time. Bye!